Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. My name's Joe. In this video, we will be continuing our playthrough of the 1960 SCRAM season in Red, White, and Blue Racin from Plaay Games. And this will be the Motor City 150 at the Midwest Motor Speedway. As you can see, here it is. It is an intermediate track. It has no die roll modifiers for escape or repair. It is a 1 mile paved oval. We're going to use trouble on the rolls of 10 in the last 5 turns. This is only a 15-turn race, so it should be a relatively short one. And this track doesn't seem to be overly modified or, etc.
Before we get into the race, let's take a look at the standings through 4 races. Lonnie Lane Sr., the driver of the number 22 Chevy, he's sitting in first place. He's got 3 top 10 finishes this season, but has yet to finish in the top 5, but there he is sitting on top of the heap with 1,774 points through 4 races. In the second place spot, driving the number 41 Mercury, is Rowley Springer. He's at 1,746 so far. Burl Exum in your number 1 Ford, 1,628. He's in third. Number 4, Chevy, 78. Gord McGreevy, 1,528. We've got 3 Fords in a row here. Mel Roach in 5th place. He's got 1298 in the number 6 car. Number 44, Eldon Briscoe at 1294. He's right on Roach's heels. Number 54, Pepper Stockton at 1278. Those 3 guys are grouped pretty tightly, as is the next driver here. Number 10, Frankie Swain. He's driving a Dodge. He's at 1,260 points. Branch Montana, number 39, also in a Dodge. He's at 1244. In 10th place, we have the number 9 driven by Aaron Burke. And we went one beyond 10 here to get the number 46 Dodge driven by Kenny Worthington. He's series favorite. He's at 1170. He's only 8 points behind Burke to break into the top 10. He does have a victory under his belt and will be hunting for some more as the series continues. So there are your standings for SCRAM 1960 through the 4th race. Now let's head back and get down to race number 5.
So we're going to start off by figuring out how many TV drivers we have. We have 4. So I am going to deal these out. And we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll roll for our TV week results here. Pull these out. We get a 34. Tire problem during qualifying, placement D. So that would put Burl Exum, who does have a trophy. He goes in the bubble stack. We move on to Boyce Daly in the 42. He has a 62. Sanctions issued for minor rules violation, placement D. He's also a trophy driver, so he goes to the bubble stack. Then we have Aaron Burke. He gets a 51. So this will be a setup opportunity. So we will roll again, and we will definitely take the possibility of a setup adjustment here. And he gets a 2, and a 2 is sizzling performance, placement A, and performance chip. He is a silver, so he's going to gain the 2 spot in the top group. So he goes here, and he gets a performance chip. Now we move on to our 4th and final, Roger Peachy. He gets an 11, which is TV Event X. So we'll roll again. We get a 53, and a 53 is turmoil within team puts cloud over race week, placement C. Now he does have a silver trophy. Placement C for a trophy driver is blue die position in the middle group. So he's going to go to the 16th spot right there. All right, now we'll move on to fast drivers. First, let me replace these guys with their gold cards to indicate they are TV drivers. Okay, now we move on to our fast drivers. So we will roll our 2 metallics again and get a 7. So there will be 7 fast drivers in this race. So we start with Hollis Yoder. He'll go here, bottom group. Rowley Springer is silver. He gets to go to the highest position in the top group, so he gets to be second. And we don't have any gold trophies, so he's actually going to go into the pole position here. Now we have Eccles, and he has a 3, so we need to see if he qualifies for the race. He does not. Eccles is out. So Forsberg will go here. Now we roll for Dave Wedge. He's also out. Now he'll go here. And he has a 3. He rolls a 2, so he's in. He's a silver, so he's going to go right here. Now we'll draw for our slow week drivers, and there are 4 of those. So let's see, Lake Covington, he's going to go to the no trophy, so he goes out of the race. Lonnie Lane Sr.'s a silver. He goes to the bubble stack. Steve Lewis has a 2, so we have to roll for him. He does not participate in the race. We roll for Eldon. No, we don't roll for Eldon Briscoe. Briscoe has a gold trophy, so he goes in the bottom group. So now we have to fill in. And we're going to check the trophies, and there won't be any uneventful, or there won't be any die rolls here. So we have a bronze. A bronze goes to the bottom. And we have silver. Silver goes to the highest position in the middle group. Another silver. Oh, we have to roll for him. He rolls a 3, so he's in. And we have a no symbol who goes to the bubble stack. We have a, I don't need to roll, and I keep doing that. 5 for that. Silver, bronze. Bubble stack. Bronze. Gold, but he has to roll. He makes it, so he goes to the top group. Bubble stack. Gold. Gold. Joe Cook needs a 2 or a 1, and he gets in, so Cook is in the race. Silver. Gold. Bronze. Bubble stack. Bronze. Bubble stack. Gold. Okay, that's our lineup. I'll pull these guys off. So no Lesko, no Rentschler, no Perkle, no Petrucci. Also no Porter Lilly, Steve Lewis, Lake Covington, Dave Wedge, or Jerry Eccles. Okay, we are ready to roll. First turn. And we get a 6, which will be a duel, and a 2. So the number 2 car in the top group, which means he gets to try to take the lead from Springer. He only has a 3, so this is a little bit dicey here, and he rolls a 3. So that is successful. Now we'll roll for trouble for Hartzell. His escape is a 7. He rolls a 7, so he's good. There is no die roll modifier for this track. We do have a lead change on turn 1. Hartzell takes the lead. A 5 and an 8. So 5 is bottom group, 8 is skill. So we start looking for skill. Patch Willis has it. He only has a 2. So that fails. Herm Henderson also has a 2. So he also fails. Epperson also with a 2. He is good. 2, 6, 1. So he's going to jump up here. Nope, it's Macaluso because it's even, and that is not going to work. We move to Boyce Daly, TV driver. 163. So 1 would be odd, so he's going to take Yoder's spot. Keep wanting to call him Yoda like he's from Star Wars, but no, it's Yoder. Exum, 6, 4, 1. So he rolls a 6, which he has the triangle, and that is it looks green, but that might be because it's printed on yellow, and I suspect that means it's actually blue. Let me look at his regular card. Yes, it is a blue triangle. And so when you roll a red 6 with a blue triangle, you look at the blue die, and if it's a 5 or a 6, then it's he's out, but it's not in this case because the blue die is only a 1, but the 6 is over his number, so we're going to roll again because he does not have a starred skill. Frankie Swain does though. He rolls a 6. See, now if this had been Exum's roll, he would be out. But this is not. It's still over his over his gas pedals though. So we roll again. 5, 2, 4. So 2 is here. 5 would be Rocket Felder. 4 brake pedals is good enough. So Frankie Swain is going to jump into the top group. And we'll check Griffin Smith. He has a yellow triangle, and he does roll a 6, which means Griffin Smith is out. So Griffin Smith is out. I'm going to put him here, and then I'll pile guys on top. And that'll denote their finishing position. So this will be turn 2. Oh, I'm supposed to check for a problem. I was just putting them out, but let's check for the problem. So he's going to have... His escape is an 11, so chances are he'll be fine, but we need to figure out what the problem is first. We roll a 53, and a 53 problem is clutch problems, roll for repair. Okay, so his pit crew is an E, which is bad. We're in the first third, so he needs to roll lower than a 3, and he does not. So he is, in fact, out with a clutch problem, or here. So we're rolling for Bridges Baker now. 2, 3, 6. So the 2 is good. The 3 would be he would be rolling against Stoffel, and that 6 is good. So Bridges Baker jumps to the top group, and Tommy Stoffel falls back early. Carl Royal has skill. He gets a 3, 3, 5. So the 3 is good. The 3 here would be against Pettis. The 5 would also be good enough to jump up. So he does. No, 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 no. Bylergen gets a 6, 2, 6. So that is too high. He does not have any triangles, which is good for him. We go to Vern Burr. He has a 1, 6, 3. So we're looking at Daly here. And that's going to work out. So Burr moves up, and Daly goes down to the bottom group. Godfrey Sell, 2, 6, 4. So he's looking at Macaluso, and Macaluso is going to lose his spot as well. So a decent amount of movement here in turn 2. No skill, no skill, no skill. Bernie Straumer gets a 4, so that's too high. Mar Forsberg needs a 2 or a 1 and gets the 2, 2, 2, 5. So he is looking at Larry Hilburn, and that actually works out for him. That's a high blue. The blue is the brake pedal, or the brake symbol. And he only has a 1 brake. So that will end turn number 2. Go to turn 3. We get a 5, which again is bottom group, and an 8, which again is skill. So we're going to repeat the process here. So again, we will start with Patch Willis, who needs a 2. Does not get it. Does not have a symbol, so he doesn't get ditched. Herm Henderson needs a 2. He rolls a red 6, so he's got to check for a problem now. And he gets a 26, and a 26 is electrical problem, roll for repair. His pit crew is an E. And E in the first third, he needs the 3. He does not get it. Herb Henderson is out in turn 3. All right. So we move on to Epperson now, who also has a triangle symbol. He rolls a 3, which is higher than his gas pedal, but he does not. So no. Burl Exum gets a 4, 3, 6. So he will probably be moving up. 3, Bridges Baker. Tommy Stoffel gets his shot to get back up. 4, 4, 4. That is triples. That means we have to check for a problem. So we roll again. We get a 12. A 12 is cooling problem. Roll for repair. Stoffel's crew is a C. First third, he needs to roll a 7 or less. He does not. Tommy Stoffel surprisingly out of the race early. Oh, I meant to do it this way. So let's put Henderson there and then Stoffel on top of that. And this is their order of finish, basically, is why I'm doing that. So turn 3, Tommy Stoffel. Bad luck. One of the better drivers on the circuit here. Out with a cooling problem. And so we'll move on. Pettis does not have skill. No. Belergin is next. Gets a 4, 3, 1. So the 4 is good. The 3 and 4 would be Exum. He does have a brake pedal, so that is not a successful move. Boyce Daly gets a 5, so that's not good. Straumer, 1, 5, 4. So he's looking at Gundy, and that's going to work for him. He's going to move up. And Hilburn is our last to go. He gets a 6. He does not have a symbol, but that also means he does not get to move up. That ends turn 3. We go to turn 4. We get a 6 again for a duel, and then this time it's 3, number 3 car in the top group, which is, you know what? I just realized that this should not, it was actually this guy who should have challenged. So what I'm going to do here is I just realized that when it's number 2, it's the die number 2. So this actually, let me remember, where was Riley Springer? He was the leader. So Burke should be here, Hartzell should be here, and now we have Hal Thomas. He's not going to challenge Burke because Burke has the chip. Although he could remove the chip if he's successful. Let's do that. We're going to roll, and he gets a 5. So now he has to roll for a problem. And he rolls a 64, which is engine trouble, roll for repair. Thomas has an A pit crew, so chances are real good he's going to pass this. And he does. All right. So no harm there on the duel. And I've corrected the leader issue, because that was not, the number 2 would have been the 3rd place driver, and so which was Burke, so he challenged Hartzell. We know that roll was successful for Hartzell. It was a 3, so that would have also been successful for him. All right, so Rowley Springer is back in first place where he belongs. We go to turn 5. 2 and 7. So 2's top group, 7 is control. So we'll start with Joe Cook up here. He gets a 2, 2, 4. So the 2 we can ignore. The 4 is the number of breaks for Springer, and that does not work. So we put Springer back, and he promptly gets bumped by Cook here in turn 5. Hal Thomas, 1, 3, 3. So 3 breaks does not beat Joe Cook. Cook remains. Now we do Hartzell. Hartzell gets a 2 and a 6. So that will work. So now Hartzell does get to go into the top spot. And we'll check Aaron Burke. He gets a 3, 5, 4. So that also is going to work, and he keeps his chip. And Burke takes the lead. All right. That was turn 5. On to turn number 6. 5 and 6. So a 5 is bottom group, 6 is smart. So we're going to start with Marie Schlemmer, the circuit's only female driver. She gets a 6, which is trouble for her, and so she has to roll now to see what the problem is. That is a 52. 52 is a clutch problem, roll for repair. She does not have an A, which would avoid the clutch problem. In fact, she has an E, and we're still in the, we're now in the second, middle third rather, so she needs to roll. Actually, she doesn't need to roll. That's a dashed line. That means she's just out. I need to move these. I need to fill the holes here too, which I have not done yet. So let's do that. So looking for smart. So the next one up is Lonnie Lane, senior, who gets a 5, 3, 4. So the 5 is good. The 3 would be Call Royal, and the 4 means that that is a good pass. A good pass there. Rocket Felder has a smart. He's got a 5, 6, 2. So the 5 fails because he only has 4 gas pedals. Now we'll do Ross Pettis. He has a 4, 1, 6. So that's going to be Hodnett, and that is going to be a successful move for Pettis. So Pettis is going to jump all the way up to the 8th spot. And now we go to Wilsey Whiteman, who has the blue triangle. And he rolls a 6, which would have put him in trouble if this 1 had been a 5 or a 6. So he avoids it, but he does not get to move up. Fuzzy Peters also has the, well, he rolled a 1, 1, 6. So in that case, he's going to take Talby and take his spot. Like so. So Fuzzy Peters jumps into the top group. Now we'll go to Ernie Galgano. He gets a 3, 5, 3. So the 3 is good. The 5 is here. So it's looking at Bernie Straumer. So Galgano moves up because Straumer has no brakes. Now we go to Belargin, doesn't have it. Boyce Daly does. He rolls a 5, 2, 1, which is not going to get it done. Macaluso has a starred smart. He gets a 4, 4, 2. So the 4 and the 4 will put us looking at Stockton, and that will work for him. So Macaluso and Stockton swap spots. No, 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 no. And Larry Hilburn is a starred smart. He rolls a 6, 4, 1. So that's no, and he's going to have to try again. And this time he gets a 4, 4, 5. So the 4, we're looking even. And the Macaluso's stay in the top group is short. And that is the end of turn number 6. All right, now we move on to our pit stop turn. And we get a 1, which is top group, and 2 and 5. So 2 and 5 will swap spots. And now we'll check for fast pit. The top group, Springer needs an 8 or less. He gets it. Cook needs an 8 or less. He gets it. Branch Montana needed an 8. He got a 9, so no. Thomas needs a 7. He gets it. Worthington needs a 7. He does not get it. And Hartzell needs a 7. No, a 4. Needs a 4 and does not get it. All right, so we move everybody up here. All right. So we'll roll to see who challenges our leader. That would be Rowley Springer, trying to get back in the top spot. He has 5 gas pedals. So he rolls a 2, which is successful. However, they both have a chip. So now we roll to see if they keep the chips or spend them. Okay, even, they retain their chip. So even roll, they retain their chips. And so we just move on. So we move on to turn number 8. Again, this is a 15-turn race. 3, 7. So 3's middle group, 7 is control. So we'll start with Vern Burr. Gets a 1, 3, 5. So he's looking at Springer, and the 5. The 5 would work, but Springer has a chip, so he'll spend it. Now we'll roll for Godfrey Sell. He gets a 5-1-6. The 5 is too high, so not successful. Our next driver with control is Jimmy Bowker. He gets a 2-2-2, so now we have to check for a problem. He rolls a 55, which is going to be odd problem. So we're going to roll again. He does not have an A or B pit crew. 52 and the odd problem is power steering problem. Roll for repair. So he has a D pit crew. We are in the middle third, so he needs to roll a 3 or less. And he does not. So Bowker is out of the race with a power steering problem. I'm just going to put a steering problem. I don't know if these cars had power steering back in the day. All right, we'll move on. I'll fill this hole later. We're going to check Hilburn. 5-1-1. Hilburn only has 4 gas pedals. Now we'll go to Lonnie Lane. And he rolls triples, so we'll check him for a problem. It's a 52. 52 is clutch problem. Roll for repair unless you're an A pit crew, which he's not. He's an E. We're in the middle third with an E pit crew. He is out. So Lonnie Lane is out as well. So we move on to Galgano. He rolls a 3-3-2. So the 3 is good. The 3 here is good. The 2 is also good. So he's going to move up to the top group because Springer only had 1. Oh, wait. That does not work because Springer gets he has the control quality. So Ross Pettis, starred control. He gets a 2-5-1. So the 2 is good. The 5 would be Worthington. The 1 is not going to get it done, but he gets to try again. This time he gets a 4-5-2, which is also not going to get it done. So that ends that turn. We'll roll for the 18 spot first. We'll start with Macaluso. He gets it. Now we'll go to Gundy for the 19 spot, and he gets it. All right, on to turn number 9. We get a 2 and a 7. So 2 is top group, 7 again is control. So we'll start with Hartzell. Hartzell, Springer, Cook, and Thomas all have control ratings. And he rolls 3 6s, so that again is going to be a trouble check for Hartzell. Or a problem check, rather. He rolls a 13, multiple problems, unable to continue, so Hartzell is out. All right. Now we move to Springer. He gets a 3-3-2, so we can ignore the 3. The 2 won't get it done. He has a chip, but he doesn't need it. We move to Joe Cook, who gets a 6. So that's not going to work because he only has 4 gas pedals. And Hal Thomas, last one, gets a 2 and a 5, so that normally would work, but again, both have chips, so we're going to roll to see if the chips go away, and they do not. But that ends that turn. No lead change. We have to fill, so Worthington moves up. We'll check Pettis. He gets it. Not a surprise with 5 gas pedals. Now we check Briscoe. He should get it, and he does. On to turn 10. 5. So bottom group and 8 is skill. We'll start with Patch Willis. Patch Willis has only 2 gas pedals, but he gets a 1, 1, 2, 3. So he's looking at Burl Exum, and 3 brake pedals actually works. So he is going to move up. To Epperson, who does have a yellow triangle, and he rolls a 6. So Epperson now has to check for a problem. He rolls a 25. Cooling problems, roll for repair. His pit crew is a C. Middle third. Yes, we're in the middle third. He needs a 5 or better. He gets a 7, so he is out. Radiator problem. All right. So we move on. Carl Royal also has the yellow triangle. He gets a 2-6-3, so he would be looking at Gundy, and with 3, that is going to work out for him. So he moves up. Next skill would be Bridges Baker, 3 gas pedals, so no. Then Straumer, 3 gas pedals, 1, 3, 2. So he's looking at Forsberg, and that actually will work for him. Bellergen gets a 5, so that's going to do it for him. Boyce Daly needs a 4 or less, gets a 4, 6, 5. So 6, 4 would be Royal, so Royal is going to get bumped by Boyce Daly. Pepper Stockton needs a 4, gets a 4, 1, 4. So he's looking at Fuzzy Peters, and he gets to jump all the way up to the 8th spot, as Fuzzy drops back to the 22nd spot. And that's the end of that. So that is the end of turn 10. And we move on to turn 11. And we're now in using trouble for the last 5 turns here if we roll a 10. And we roll an 11. So top group 11 is skill. So we'll start with Branch Montana. He rolls a 1 and a 6. So that makes Burke use his chip. We move to Kenny Worthington. He gets a 4, 5, 6. So that is going to move Burke out and Worthington in. We're looking for skill. And Thomas is the last one with skill. And he rolls a 6, 4, 6. So he's going to use his chip and take the lead because he can do that. So Hal Thomas jumps into the top spot. And that ends turn 11. We go to turn 12. And we get a 3, which is middle group, and a 10. So we use trouble last 5 turns. So we got to roll for escape, and we rolled for the middle group. So we're going to start with Briscoe, whose escape is an 8. He rolls a 6, so he's good. Daly's escape is a 7. He rolls an 8, so he's not. Then we roll Macaluso. He's a 7. He's also in there. Then Burr needed an 11 and got an 11. Sell is an 8, so he's good. Frankie Swain is an 8. He is good as well. Straumer is a 10. He got 8, so he's okay. Larry Hilburn's a 7. He's okay. Patch Willis is a 7. He gets an 8, so he is not okay. Gano 8. He's good. Peachy 8. Okay, and Stockton. So Stockton is out. So we got 4 drivers in this this event here. Okay, so now we're going to check for if they avoid the trouble. So we have trouble column in here. So we're going to start with Daly. He's got a pit crew rating of E. So we're in the final third. He needs a 3 or less. He does not get it, so Daly is out. Then we have Macaluso. His pit crew is an E, so he needs a 3. Does not get it, so Macaluso is out. Then Patch Willis, he's also an E, so he'll need a 3. He does not get it. And finally, Pepper Stockton, who is a D, gets an 8, and a D in the final third needs a 4, so he is also out. Which means we have 4 open slots now in the middle group here to resolve. So we'll start with McGreevy, who needs a 3 or less. He gets it. And we'll check Dixon, who also needs a 3 or less. He also gets it. Fuzzy Peters needs a 4 and gets it. Should have rolled the blue die with that. Carl Royal needs a 3, gets it. So that is going to do it. We've had a lot of cars knocked out of this race. So that was turn 12. 3 turns left. We get a 5 and a 10. So again, a 10 is going to be trouble. 5 is the bottom group. So now we got to check all these guys for escape. So first one is Trainer. Needs less than a 10. Gets it. Exum needs less than a 9. Does not get it. Gundy needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Yoder needs an 11. Gets it barely. Baker needs a 10. Gets it. Hodnett needs a 9. Gets it. Literally. Felder needs less than a 7. He gets a 7. Roach needs an 8. Gets an 11, so Roach is collected. Whiteman needs a 9. He gets a 4, so he's okay. Talby needs an 8. Again, he's good. Forsberg needs an 8. He is good. And Belergen needs an 11. He gets a 7, so he's good. So we get 3 cars collected here. We'll check Exum now. His skill is an E. We are in the final third, so he needs a 3 or a 2, which he does not get. So Exum is out in turn 13. Gundy, his pit crew's an E, so he'll need a 3. He gets a 6, so he's also out. And Roach, his also an E, and he's also out, as you would expect. So not a good race for a lot of people here. All right, that is turn 13 in the books. Let's fill in. Only 28 cars remain on the track as we go to turn 14. And we get a 3 and a 6. So 3 is middle group, 6 is smart. So Fuzzy Peters is our first attempt. And he gets a 2, 3, 2. So 2, 3, and 2. He only has 1 break from the bonus. So he'll move up. Fuzzy Peters jumps to the 4 spot. And we're looking for smart. So no. Frankie Swain gets a 3, 1, 2. Not enough breaks, so nope, not going to, his blue die was a 2, so that's not going to work out. Hilburn is a smart with a star, and he rolls a 5, but he only has 4 gas pedals, so he has to roll again. This time he gets a 1, 5, 2, so he's looking at Branch Montana, who does have 2 breaks, so he actually has 3 because he also has smart. So now we check Galgano, who has 4 gas pedals. He gets a 4, 1, 6. That's going to do it. He's going to jump up and take the 2nd spot away from Kenny Worthington. And now we'll check Roger Peachy, who has 5 gas pedals. And he rolls a 6, 6, 2, so he does not get to advance. That ends turn 14. We enter the race's final turn. And we roll 5, 5, 5. Bottom group and a 10 is a trouble check. So again with the trouble check, lots of trouble in this race. So we'll start with Trainer, who has a 10 and he gets a 10. Yoder has an 11 and gets an 8, so he's good. Baker has a 10, he's good. Hodnett has a 9, he's good. Felder has a 7, he is good with a 6. Whiteman has a 9 rather, he is good. Talby has an 8, so Talby is going to be collected. And Forsberg also has an 8, he's good. And Belergen has an 11, he is good. So Talby's the only one we have to check. He has an E, we're in the final third, so we know we need less than a 3, or 3 or less rather. So Talby is the latest and last to be collected in an event. In the race's final turn, Talby goes out with trouble. All right, that ends the race. Your winner, Hal Thomas. Second place in the 100 car, Ernie Galgano. Third place in the 33 Ford, Joe Cook. Fourth place in the 11 Chevy, Fuzzy Peters. Fifth place, the number 9 Mercury, Aaron Burke. 6th place in the 39 Dodge, Branch, Montana. 7th place, the number 48 Plymouth, Ross Pettis. In 8th place, the number 40 Chevy, Roger Peachy. In 9th, the number 46 Dodge, Kenny Worthington. And rounding out the top 10 in the number 2 Pontiac, Larry Hilburn. That is the Motor City 150 at the Midwest Motor Speedway. This is Red, White, and Blue Racin, SCRAM 1960 season on the Hexed Encountered channel. That's going to do it. Please feel free to comment, ask questions, let me know your thoughts, etc., etc. Always appreciated. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing if you would. That would be outstanding and also appreciated. But that is going to do it. My name's Joe. This is Hexed Encountered Sports Edition, the Mythic Sports Universe. And until next time, happy gaming.